Hi, my name is Chet Golden. A few years ago, I was approached by a mother who was concerned about her son's developmental issues. She asked me to design a class that could help him and other children with similar issues. I did some investigation into this and realized that there was a huge need for this kind of program. So I began to do research, textbooks, internet, meetings with OTs and biokineticists, anything I thought would help. My efforts led me to understand that a child's brain is like a garden. In the beginning, it is just soil. The input that it receives from the world are the seeds, and your parental behavior patterns in all relationships and situations are the sunshine, water, and nutrients that will make the child flourish. The more research I did, the more I was fascinated to learn that our movements affect different areas of the brain. Light bulb! What an epiphany! Why doesn't everybody know this? You can actually correct learning, developmental, and behavioral issues by using movements and activities to stimulate this growth. I felt like I needed to share this information with everybody. And so I designed a set of movements using the scientific principles that I'd learned. I demonstrated it to teachers, occupational therapists, biokineticists, and any other ist that would listen to me. They all loved it. The next step was to add the right amount of crazy to make it appealing to kids. And presto, Kids Core was born. In 2009, I piloted Kids Core at Crawford North Coast. The program has since gone on to become incredibly successful as an extramural activity. In 2012, a parent came to speak with me, concerned that a child didn't want to do the classes anymore. It worried me too because he was a child who definitely needed the help. I offered my help to design a home program that they could do with their little boy as often as possible. They were fantastic parents. They went home and they did all the exercises regularly, and it only took 2 weeks, and the same child who had been a thorn in my side during my classes was suddenly the best behaved child. This transformation was a powerful realization. It dawned on me that offering a program to children once a week was enough for the better developed pupils. These students were flourishing and their growth was amazing. It was the children who constantly struggled that needed additional support. So I decided to extend my home-based program service to more parents. The results have been varied depending on the amount of effort the parents have put in. But for those who have put in the time, the improvements have been outstanding. I was still only skimming the surface though, as I was limited to a couple of schools, and within those schools I only had access to a handful of children whose parents were forward-thinking enough to select my program as an extramural activity. I felt like I had this powerful tool, the hammer to drive home the nail, the electricity to power the light bulb, but only a handful of parents to share this knowledge with. Consequently, I decided to create a series of workshops to teach parents and teachers the framework of childhood development. Where to begin though? And then I remembered my first consultation with an OT. I'd gone to her to find out about one of the little boys in my class. When she started to speak, I thought I was in a Leon Schuster movie. This lady traumatized me with her confusing terminology. I'd never heard of half the words that she was using, and I considered myself to be quite educated. This encounter with the OT made me realize that parents who are going to these therapists for help ultimately feel obligated to commit to the occupational therapy because they just don't know what's being said. Listen, make no mistake, I'm a big fan of OT, and you should make use of all the resources at your disposal. So send your child to occupational therapy. But once you understand what is actually going on with your child, you will recognize that there is a whole lot that you can do at home to help. Sending your child to OT once a week to fix a developmental issue is like doing Pilates once a week, hoping to get into shape. It might work for some, but the reality is that it needs to become part of your lifestyle. A few years later, a span of research and writing, and now I feel that I have my own understanding of this field and a method of communicating it to you over a series of workshops. The first workshop is a free workshop, which will be done at a school in your area. This workshop covers the basics, the theory of childhood development, and introduces the principles behind the Kids Core program. In essence, it is a theory lesson. Once you understand the principles taught in the first workshop, you can start to apply them to any age, from birth right through to old age. The second workshop takes the shape of a class done with the children. It is performed at the school during school hours and gives parents, teachers, and mainly children the opportunity to experience the joy of Kids Core. The next series of workshops are designed to teach you and your child how to perform the exercises that make up the Kids Core program. Level 1 is made up of the most simple postures and movements. The beauty of Kids Core is that it can be done anywhere and no equipment is needed. Each level after that is designed to expand on the level or levels beneath it. It will be similar in a way to the grading system that martial arts uses. As a child, teacher, or parent moves through the levels, their skills and knowledge will improve. We are only just beginning to explore our potential as humans, and there is no ceiling for what you can achieve with your child's development. Consequently, there is no limit on how many levels of training we will offer. The big key to our program is starting your child on it as early as possible. A young mind is both powerful and fragile at the same time. A child's brain absorbs information so much faster than an adult's. This is, however, a double-edged sword, because although learning happens at an alarming rate, so does the memory of stress and the coping mechanisms that they learn from the people that are around them during this phase. I go into a lot more detail about how this happens in the first workshop. What is important to understand about this phase is how learning can be disturbed by any emotional traumas that occur during the first period in their lives. Once they get to the age of 7, there is a physical change in the brain which stops this happening, and they start to learn and filter everything that is happening in their environment. If the child is well developed physically, mentally, and emotionally, they will have a strong foundation for the rest of their lives. If even one component is missing, it can have an ensuing effect into other areas of their lives. The garden of the mind doesn't stop needing nutrients, and even the best garden can get overrun with weeds. The question to you parents is, how is your garden?